Well, what we saw in New York with the indictment of Trump in regard to the Stormy Daniels hush money payment may be just the beginning, likely is just the beginning of his legal troubles, as I'm sure you're aware, and it could get much worse very soon for him. Before we dive into some reporting on this, something I've been talking about a good bit on my show, you can find that at Luke Beasley on YouTube, is while Trump should be held accountable wherever he has violated the law, including the Stormy Daniels case, it's unfortunate that the Stormy Daniels case, being the less significant one, came first when we have, as we're about to talk about, a case where he could be held accountable for attempting to overturn a free and fair election, pressuring election officials, the Brad Raffensperger call, all those things. And that being one of the cases he's involved in, one of the things he's being investigated for, makes the Stormy Daniels case seem less significant. And so the fact that it came first is unfortunate, but we could be seeing the more important one, significant, with huge ramifications, also coming very soon. Take a look at this from the Washington Post. Donald Trump's appearance in a Manhattan courtroom Tuesday marked a singular moment in American history, the first time a former or sitting U.S. president has been indicted on criminal charges. But Trump's legal peril is far from over. Among those closely watching the proceedings were state and local officials in Georgia, where Fulton County District Attorney Fani T. Willis is expected to announce in coming weeks whether she will file charges in connection to efforts by Trump and his allies to overturn the state's 2020 presidential election results. Expected to announce in the coming weeks. And we saw the media tour that the grand jury four-person did. That was strange, but it did reveal, at least in the eyes of the grand jury, likely charges, indictments were recommended. And if Fani Willis follows in that path, we could be seeing charges very soon in regard to what I see as the most important thing Trump is being investigated for. If you somehow have forgotten what this is all in reference to, or one of the elements of this investigation, here was the infamous Georgia call, or at least a part of it.
So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes. So tell me, Brad, what are we going to do? We won the election, and it's not fair to take it away from us like this. And it's going to be very costly in many ways. And I think you have to say that you're going to re-examine it.
We have to stand by our numbers. We believe our numbers are right.
Georgia has now...
All I want to do is find 11,780 votes. I've heard that so many times now. But every single time I hear it, I cannot process that that actually happened and all that was surrounding that. It wasn't just him calling, trying to get Brad Raffensperger to throw out the election results and find 11,780 votes that didn't exist and proclaim him the winner. It was also him coming up with this alternate elector scheme, having Vice President at the time, Mike Pence, reject the actual electors, pretend fake electors were the real ones, and install Trump the president, throw us into a constitutional crisis, a coup. A non-military coup was being attempted there. Luckily, it didn't work, but he absolutely needs to be held accountable. And then a little bit here from Yahoo News. While Tuesday's arraignment of former President Donald Trump marked the first time a former U.S. president had ever been charged with criminal offenses, it likely won't be the last. By summer's end, Trump could be charged in no fewer than 4 separate criminal investigations. Oh, goodness. In fact, while Trump's indictment stemming from his $130,000 hush money payment, $1,000 hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels represents a legal threat to the former president, the others may carry a greater risk of serious consequences, including a possible prison sentence. As most people recognize, it's hard to picture Trump being sent to prison, especially for the Stormy Daniels case. But if we're going to see that happen, or at least him get house arrest, then I do think it'll come from one of the other cases. And of course, you have the federal investigation to his mishandling and obstruction in regard to the documents, classified documents. You have the federal investigation to January 6th and his attempts to overturn the election. You have the Georgia investigation to his attempts to overturn the election. And then you have the Manhattan District Attorney's investigation of the Stormy Daniels hush money payment. So a lot going on there for Trump. We have much more on the other side of this break.
One of our sponsors is Electric E-Bikes. I've been watching e-bike reviews on YouTube for a while because I've been thinking of getting one, and I continually come across Electric as the brand to go with if your budget is between $800 and $1,300. And I have to agree from experience. I've had my electric e-bike for a little while now. I've almost ditched my car and regularly bike at this point for errands and things around my neighborhood. It's awesome cardio because I'm still pedaling. I get there faster. I can see more. I'm reducing my carbon footprint. The e-bike came to my doorstep fully assembled. It has a bright LCD screen, 7-speed gearing, 5 levels of pedal assist, a powerful battery that you can take inside to charge. It's also fully foldable. I can put it in the back of my car. Electric has models for every lifestyle, and you can finance for as little as $73 a month. Go to lectricebikes.com to learn more. Explore all of the incredible e-bike models they offer. The link is down below.